This clip is going to demonstrate some of the most common components of the aggregation pipeline in MongoDB. So the plan is to demonstrate match, project, group, sort, and out. So it incorporates a lot of the features. So the question we're trying to solve this time, it says we're considering only movies. So we're using the movieDetails collection, and we're only looking at movies that have a runtime of 130 minutes or more, that have 3 genre classifications and 4 actors. Find the director's name and the largest tomato review score and the lowest IMDb votes among the movies that he or she is directed. So we need to show the director name and the largest tomato review score and the lowest IMDb votes for the movies he or she's been involved in. And then when we produce the results, we only want to show those that involve directors with the lowest IMDb score of 350,000 or more. And then we want to also include a project stage in the aggregation pipeline to stop unnecessary documents or fields getting passed through. So we only want certain fields. We're not interested in all fields in an individual movie document. So we only want certain fields to be passed through to the latter stages. In other words, there won't be unnecessary data moving to the latter stages. And then we want to sort the resulting documents. So when you run an aggregation pipeline, it generates documents. And we then want to sort those by the largest tomato review score in ascending order. And then we want to send those documents into a new collection called Movie Director Stats. So the best way to perhaps demonstrate this is to build it up bit by bit. So what we need for an aggregation framework is we need at least one stage. So we have a match stage here, and the match stage, its role is to only allow certain documents through to the next stage, to the project stage. So if we run the match stage, we're going to get a lot of documents generated. As you can see here, there's lots of documents generated. There's a cursor, and then you type it, and thousands of documents are probably going to get through, or certainly hundreds of documents will get through this stage. So we won't dwell on that too much. But all it tells us is that there's going to be a subset of the documents will get through the match stage. So they'll be filtered out. Only those with a runtime of 130 or more, or that have 3 genres or 4 actors, will get to the project stage. So then if we run the match and the project, we'll still get a lot of data coming back, but this time it's going to be a bit better presented. So I should clear the screen just to make it easier to read. So in this case, what we're looking at is, in the project stage, all we're looking at is some of the attributes of a movie. So we're not showing the ID because it says there ID :0. The ID won't be appearing. That's the way you eliminate the ID from appearing in the final results. So then we want to see the director, and we want to see the tomato reviews that he or she for movies he or she's been involved in, and the IMDb votes as well. So we're seeing now here is we aren't seeing any aggregated data yet. We're just looking at the documents that have been passed through from the match stage. So no aggregation has taken place yet to the project stage. So we can see here is, we'll say for Jerome Robbins, he's been involved in a movie, and there's an IMDb votes value. There's no tomato reviews value. George Lucas then is involved in movies where there's some of them have IMDb votes. First one has, and some of them have both votes and reviews. And then, so he appears a number of times, whereas at the aggregation stage, George Lucas, if he passes the final test, will be appearing just once. So in his case, I'm just looking down to the second match stage, and it's looking for minimum votes of 350,000 or more. So he should be getting through there because all of his votes are above 400,000. So he should meet that minimum value later on. So that's the documents, the fields from the documents that have been filtered out at stage 1, at the match stage. They're that get through to the project stage. And the project stage then passes that data on to the group stage. So if you look at the group stage, the group stage dictates the project stage really. So the group stage is we're looking at the director, we're looking at the tomato reviews, and we're looking at the IMDb votes. So not surprisingly, they're the three pieces of data, they're the three fields that are passed or included in the project stage. Okay, so from the project stage onwards, the only details about movies we need are the director name, the tomato reviews, and the IMDb votes. So that's if we left out one of those, if we left out the IMDb votes in the project stage, then we'd have trouble down in the group stage. So maybe we'll just do that briefly. We'll just take a copy of the project stage, paste it down further below, and then remove the IMDb votes from the results. So we'll take that out from the project stage, sorry. So if you look at the IMDb values here, the IMDb votes values for, say, the Jerome Robbins, the first one here, he has votes of 67,000 plus. Richard Marquand has votes of 62,000 plus. But if we run the same block of code again without the IMDb votes value, you're going to see nulls, or certainly you'll get an error, you'll see nulls. So we don't see IMDb votes at all. Okay, the IMDb votes don't get passed, aren't included, so therefore they aren't visible. And therefore, if we get down to the next stage, where with the same data, we should see some nulls. So we'll take it a step further now, and we'll go down to the group stage, and we'll look and see how do the IMDb votes look at that point. So we'll clear the screen again. I won't clear the screen. It's probably better to show it as it progresses. Okay, so this time we're looking at the work done up to the group stage. And what you'll notice here is that for Ridley Scott, he has max tomato reviews value, but he doesn't have a min IMDb votes value. And if you look down through all the documents currently on screen, there is no IMDb votes value for any of those documents. So that's as a consequence of the IMDb votes field being eliminated in our project stage. So that's the consequence of including or excluding certain fields in the project stage. That'll impact later on. So I'm just going to rebuild the original one and take it from there. So we're now back to the original scenario, and we have done down as far as the group stage up to now. So now when we do the next match stage, so we'll run the whole lot again with just the up to the group stage, just see the story unfolding, and I'll clear the screen here and run it up to the group stage. So what you'll notice here is that we have the IMDb votes here for all the various directors that are on screen, and you'll notice that some of them are well below 350,000. Okay, of the list we're looking at here, I only can maybe spot one that has for Curtis Hanson that has a value above 350,000. So Curtis Hanson might be the only one of this current batch that are visible on screen that will make it to the final list. And obviously if we go down further, we see Zack Snyder is also going to make it, I think. Yeah, he's got 497. His minimum IMDb votes value is 497. So we should be looking at, in the final results, Curtis Hanson and Zack Snyder when we generate the final results that have the minimum values. So we'll go back to the aggregation pipeline, and this time we're going to take in the match that brings in the minimum value. So we'll remember Curtis Hanson and Zack Snyder and see do they appear at this stage. So we'll go and clear the screen again. So yes, Curtis Hanson is here with his minimum of 393, and Zack Snyder is there with 497. So as you can see, as we progress down through the aggregation pipeline, we're narrowing the data a lot. So initially we eliminate documents with the match stage. Then we eliminate fields with the project stage. Then we group the data according to by director. So we're using the max and the min accumulators here. And then we're using the greater than, $sign greater than, to limit or determine which of the results of the resulting documents actually get passed on to the latter stages. So the second last stage here is a sort, where we sort the results in by max tomato reviews in ascending order. So in the current block of results, the max tomato reviews are all over the place. We have 108 followed by 284, 289, then down to 192, 250 towards the bottom. So if we run the whole lot down as far as the sort stage, we'll start to see, hopefully we'll see the previous results, but this time they'll be sorted. So it's the same documents, except this time they're sorted by max tomato reviews in ascending order. So that's why it starts at 57 for Richard Roland Emmerich, and then 284, and then down at the end here we have, at the bottom we have Zack Snyder with 289, because they're being sorted in ascending order. So therefore that's why we have max tomato reviews :1. So :1 means ascending order, and :-1 would mean descending order. And the last stage in this particular example is to send the resulting documents of this aggregation pipeline to a separate collection called movie director stats. So this is like creating a table in a database. It's like creating a table from a select statement in SQL. So what we're going to do here is, we're going to send all our resulting documents of the last stage to this new collection called director movie stats, and then we're going to run a find query on the director movie stats collection to prove that the actual collection exists and that it has the documents that we're interested in. So we're now going to just go to run the query again. And there we are. We have I'll just clear the screen to make it easier to read. So there we have the aggregation pipeline executes. The data is sent to the resulting documents are sent to the movie director stats collection. So that's why there's nothing shown directly below the query until we run the find query. So we do a db movie director stats find, and that then shows the documents that have been generated by the aggregation pipeline that's just been run earlier. So that's a clip involving an aggregation pipeline that features many of the fundamental stages of an aggregation pipeline. So match to eliminate some documents, project to then take that documents passed from the match stage and only include director, tomato reviews, and IMDb votes fields. Then we carry out the grouping, so we take that aggregates the documents by director. And then after we've done the grouping, we then do another match to filter out documents. In other words, to include only documents with a minimum IMDb votes value of 350,000 or more. The second last stage is a sort stage, and the last stage is the out stage. So hopefully that clip will give you a good sense of the fundamental stages in an aggregation pipeline in MongoDB.